Australia's tourism industry has been hard hit by the impact of pandemic border closures. Experts warn domestic tourism isn't enough to fill the void left by foreign visitors. Danielle Robertson reports.
From Sydney Harbour to Skype.
Agents, what are they thinking about Australia?
There's always a very, very strong desire to come back to Sydney, Australia.
Mark has traded the outdoors for an office after the COVID-19 pandemic shattered his tour business.
Obviously, when COVID hit, which I call tourism Armageddon, we went from heroes to zero quite literally overnight. We had to shut down the business immediately.
His Sydney Harbour boat tour company specialises in high-end personalised experiences that often attract celebrities.
Interestingly, we were one of the first tourism operators in Sydney to close down. We had Tom Hanks, the Hollywood icon, and his wife Rita on the boat for 3 hours. Then 4 days later, Tom announced that he was tested positive to corona.
His company relied entirely on international customers. Now he's had to shift his model to a much smaller domestic group while still maintaining interest within the international domain. While Mark still has a market of more than 5 million Sydney-siders, John Stapleton in Melbourne has none.
Is even when we get the green light to go, there's going to be probably a 3 to 6 month delay before people are confident to book a tour bus. So we're going to. That's the sad part.
John says his turnover from his bus tour company has dropped from $250,000 a year to zero.
It's amazing.
The strict lockdown in Melbourne means he can't draw from international or local customers, placing his business on an indefinite pause. Australia is considering opening its borders to low-risk Asian countries. Many tourism operators here, especially those on the Great Barrier Reef, say it's places like Singapore that may be able to help keep them afloat.
We'll never see the same volume until global travel has returned. And we know from the aviation sector that could take 4 or 5 years. So it is a long road ahead for Cairns and the Great Barrier Reef. Very soon we want to see our connections with Singapore reopened, our connections with Japan reopened, so that those countries closest to us who are looking for that remarkable nature-based and ecotourism experience can re-enter.
But until that happens, every day is more money lost. And even before the pandemic hit, the devastating bushfires last year left many companies in ruins. A survey by National Australia Bank found that 1 in 3 businesses were impacted, and many are still feeling the effects from the flames. The country's $60 billion tourism sector is still fighting for survival. The Tourism Transport Forum estimates the industry is losing $10 billion every single month. Until international borders reopen, the focus for companies is to encourage Australians to rediscover their own backyard. Danielle Robertson, CNA, Sydney.